Alright, let's get to the chase. You know why you clicked on this video, and I don't know how to intro this, so, Now, there's two pretty big questions floating around in your mind. How and why? Let's start with the how, because that's probably more important to you. So, Calamity Mod, this is a Calamity video, adds a summoning item for the Cultist, which drops from little fish guys in the Abyss biome. Only drawback is that as of version
2.0.4.005,
you'd need to kill a boss, which requires the death of another boss, which is too many. Literally. However, with the addition of the Infernum add-on, this is also an Infernum video, their spawn requirements are... Wait, that's it? Infernum, as many of you are probably aware of, does horrible things to the boss AI. But that's irrelevant. Kinda. This mod reworks the Abyss and just lets the Aetolus spawn right off the rip. So theoretically, some random person could just load up a new world, somehow stumble their way down the Abyss, kill a fish to obtain an Eidolon tablet, and spawn the Lunatic Cultist as their very first boss. Which is very unlikely for a normal person to even attempt at doing. However, I'm not normal. I have mold in my brain, so we're gonna do all that. So the biggest hurdle that we have so far is figuring out how to kill an Aetolist, or more specifically, how do we even get to one? All this fancy diving gear paired with a Gills potion aren't actually enough to survive long enough in the Abyss to kill an Aetolist, as, you know, they're kind of a late hard mode enemy, and any weapon at our tier does nothing short of tickling them. So we're kind of at a standstill, right? Wrong. There's actually a way for us to achieve infinite water breathing at this stage of the game. We just need to kill a certain giant clam. Now I know what some of you are probably thinking, giant clam is literally a boss. No, actually, no he's not. It says on both the Calamity and Infernum wiki that he is a mini-boss, and last time I checked, those are completely separate things. Size does matter, unfortunately. The clam spawns the Sea King NPC, which gives us his blessing to breathe infinitely underwater, as long as we don't get hit, which is somewhat of a non-issue for beasts like me. Alright, so now that we kinda know how to get to the big guy, you're probably wondering what kind of gear we're even supposed to use. But honestly, there really isn't much to talk about other than the fledgling boot featherfall combo serving as our vertical mobility. And our main weapon for a bit would be the depth crusher, but we'll get into that more later. And that's sort of it. So let's get started. Typically, when I create a character in these videos, I always name them off of a random level on the Geometry Dash demon list. However, since this is not like an actual full playthrough, I decided to break the tradition a little bit and instead name my guy after the challenge list. 20 Philly. Okay. Alright, we're doing that. Okay. Now luckily for me, I mapped out my entire route before the stream, which starts with rushing Sulfur Sea for Trasher stacking for a golden fishing rod, so that I could get an early Reaver Shark and at the time an Abyssal Amulet. And all seemed well, we found a living tree which gave me an aglet, but then immediately faced the corruption, and I was met with a reality check. So instead I went mining for a bit of resources, but I can't really say they helped me with navigating the corruption very much. Are you mad? How are you gonna kill funny fish thing Eidolon and kill the Discord mod? With my bare hands. Eventually I went back to the caves where I'd mine up some demonite to craft the Magaluminescence, and after building an atrocity of an NPC prison, something very unexpected happened. 1 HP challenge. What the fuck?! This is the third time I've gotten this. What the fuck? What the fuck? The last time I got this was during Thorbin's Survivor. So, I think that's really funny. Oh hey, we finally got to the Sulfur Sea. Took long enough, damn. Now the biggest reason we're here is for a golden fishing rod. Let me explain the art of Trasher stacking. Trashers are little guys that spawn here, and if you haven't woken up the angler yet, the first one you kill will drop him from its mouth. Calamity makes it so the angler always drops a golden fishing rod when he is killed by one of these trashers. So, by gathering 2 of these guys, you can kill the first one to get your angler, and the other will happily munch on his face, and I will get my rod. Simple, right? How do I... Wait, I guess I could just... do that. Run! 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 Fuck! 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 I knew that was gonna... You know the desert, right? Underneath it is the sunken sea biome, where we are meant to fight the giant clam. Now, I forgot to address this earlier, but in regular Calamity, giant clam is locked behind the desert scourge, and apparently that's a boss, so we're stuck again, right? No, actually. You're forgetting that this isn't regular Calamity, this is Infernum, which adds a summon item pre-boss for the giant clam. So we just get the materials for this and win, simple as that. Let's fight the hardest boss in the game. I mean mini-boss, 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 mini-boss. This isn't a boss, this is a mini-boss. This is harder than Eternus, so... Am I shit? Oh, I'm shit. No, it's completely excusable. This is the hardest boss in the game. Let's go. Shit. Fuck. Now that we've acquired Amidius the Sea King, we can try to get our hands on the Depth Crusher, but since we're already at the Sulphur Sea, we might as well try to successfully Treasure Stack.
Get him! Yes! Fuck you! Ha ha! Fishing rod is mine!
Alright, so Depth Crusher, what does it do? It's a melee weapon dropped by Viperfish down in the 3rd and 4th layers of the Abyss, and it's pretty good. It's really meant to be like a later pre-hard mode weapon, so that automatically constitutes as one of the best weapons we can get right now. And it also has homing, so that's pretty cool, I think. And after getting it our first try and totally didn't take a billion deaths, I went over to the jungle in hopes of getting an Anklet of the Wind for my lightning boots. And after a trillion chests and a random bee encounter,
No! No! No!
I finally got my hands on one, but we don't have a Tinkerer's Workshop to really do anything with it. So I fought the Goblin army, found the Goblin, and boom, lightning boots. I went up to the lab in the sky for herb bags, which I would shimmer into cans of worms so that I could finally go fishing and fetch my Reaver Shark. This was supposed to be the first thing I'd do, but it ended up being one of the last. Great. I then went up to a sky lake where I initially tried to fish up my wings, but I found out about Calamity's recipe, so I just did that. Then I fought a blood moon to get my hands on a shark tooth necklace, before finally putting my Reaver Shark to work by getting Hellstone and finally making a shiny set of molten armor. Oh, and support minions. Don't forget about those guys. Now I'm pretty much fully geared and ready to take on an Aetolus, which was actually disappointingly easy. For an Infernum mini-boss, they really weren't shit. But yeah, tablet, cool. Now all I gotta do is build an arena and go all in. And while we're dying, I guess it's finally time to answer the other question. Why am I doing this? Well, I don't know, I thought it'd be funny. I thought it up, did some testing with routes and gear, and just kind of practiced the hell out of it. But that was all during editing purgatory for my last video, so it wouldn't actually be for another month or so until I'd actually perform the run live. So my whole understanding of the difficulty is plummeted, so it's kind of no surprise that in the first stream, I didn't really get anywhere. I mean, I got to phase 2 a couple times, but I can't really say I lasted all that long. But anyway, we ended off the first stream with a best of 59.86. The second stream wasn't all that much of an improvement, as we ended off with a best of 48.55. I was a little demotivated from this fight, but, you know, progress is progress, whether big or small. Come on, man! It's too fucking easy! It's too easy! Yeah! And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you defeat the Lunatic Cultist as the very first boss. Now, what does this sequence break mean for the Infernum low percents? Well, as of Calamity version
2.0.4.005,
it doesn't actually mean anything, as Auric Ore requires titanium crates, which come from hard mode. This was just a silly fun experiment to showcase that this is something that you can do for some reason. And if you made it this far and you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I've got some vile things cooking for the future, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, goodbye. I just want to give a big thanks to my members Spotted Fang 486, Arfoir, Reflex Geoz, Robin Wobbin, English Thames, and Cy Rio. Thanks for the support, and I'll see you guys in the next one.